Korea, a nation with a rich history and vibrant culture, endured a tumultuous 20th century, marked by foreign occupation, war, and division. The story of North Korea in particular is one of resilience, authoritarianism, and an unwavering pursuit of nuclear ambitions. Our journey begins in 1910, when Imperial Japan formally annexed Korea, beginning a brutal 35-year period of colonial rule. The Japanese sought to erase Korean culture, imposing their language, customs, and even names on the Korean people. Despite facing harsh repression, Koreans fought back. Resistance movements, both at home and abroad, kept the dream of independence alive. Figures like Kim Il-sung, who would later become the founder of North Korea, cut their teeth fighting against the Japanese in the 1930s, gaining valuable experience in guerrilla warfare. These years of Japanese rule left an indelible mark on the Korean psyche, fostering a deep-seated resentment of foreign interference that continues to shape North Korea's worldview today. The end of World War II in 1945 brought an end to Japanese colonialism, but did not deliver the liberation Koreans had yearned for. Instead, the Korean Peninsula found itself caught in the emerging Cold War rivalry between the United States and the Soviet Union. Korea, suddenly free from its Japanese overlords, was divided along the 38th parallel, a line hastily drawn by Allied powers with little regard for Korea's history or the will of its people. The United States administered the South, while the Soviet Union took control of the North. Each superpower sought to install a government sympathetic to its own ideology. This division, initially intended as a temporary measure, solidified into a permanent partition as tensions between the two superpowers escalated. Two states emerged, mirroring the ideological divide of the Cold War. A capitalist South Korea supported by the United States and a communist North Korea backed by the Soviet Union. In the north, Kim Il-sung, backed by the Soviet Union, emerged as the preeminent leader. A seasoned guerrilla fighter with a reputation for charisma and ruthlessness, Kim quickly consolidated his power, establishing a totalitarian state with himself at the helm. He ruthlessly purged his political rivals, installing a system of government centered around his personality and a rigid adherence to his self-proclaimed Juche ideology, which emphasized national self-reliance. This ideology, born out of the struggle against Japanese imperialism and further cemented by the Korean War, permeated every aspect of North Korean society. It fostered a siege mentality, portraying the country as a small, defiant nation surrounded by hostile forces, a narrative that the Kim dynasty continues to exploit to this day. The Korean War, which erupted in 1950 when North Korean forces poured across the 38th parallel, further entrenched the division of the peninsula and intensified the Cold War rivalry. Backed by China and the Soviet Union, the North fought a brutal war against the South, which was supported by the United States and United Nations forces. The conflict, which lasted 3 years and resulted in an estimated 1 million casualties, ended in a stalemate, with the border between the two Koreas largely unchanged. The war had a profound impact on North Korea. It solidified the Kim regime's grip on power and fueled its paranoia about external threats. It also left the country economically devastated and heavily reliant on aid from its communist allies. The decades that followed saw North Korea become increasingly isolated from the international community, its economy stagnating while its southern neighbor underwent rapid industrialization and economic growth.